Hey guys, I'm here to talk about another movie. Today I'm going to talk about Moneyball, which was released in 2011, stars Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, and I think Chris Pratt. He's a very minor role in this movie. I think it was before he blew up with Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, the main star is Brad Pitt, and he is the star of the show. And I just wanted to talk about what I felt about the movie. I watched it because I had to watch a movie about computers for my university project. And I thought, well, statistical analysis is kind of like about computers, and if you use computers and statistical analysis to win baseball games, does that count as a movie about computers? I ended up watching The Matrix instead. I did watch this movie, but I thought it wasn't really about as much about computers as I thought. And okay, so what is this movie about? This movie is about a guy who uses statistics in baseball in a time where the professional sport and its recruitment process is dominated by intangibles. That is the feel that a scout gets when they see a player in a game. And just looking at that's actually a very reasonable way to scout players. So I was kind of on the side of where I was doubting Brad Pitt throughout the movie at the very start, because he was making decisions that really, on paper, with the numbers, it does look good, but if you actually look at the player, it doesn't really make any sense. But I think why this worked out later on because we get a little bit of a shift in Brad Pitt's character. Brad Pitt doesn't really care about the players. He doesn't really care about the game itself. He never really watches the game. He goes and works out while every one of the players are playing, and he doesn't formulate a bond with these players. And the difference when they start using these statistics and numbers to try and get the best player possible they need, at first it doesn't work, and it works when Brad Pitt starts caring about his players. And I think they did a good job of showcasing his transformation throughout the movie. One thing I kind of didn't like was I didn't get how he transformed into this player caring coach. Well, not coach. Is he a coach? He's like a GM, right? Yeah, I wanted to see a little bit more of this process of his transformation in character. Anyways, story-wise, also, it was a bit long. It's a bit dragging at the end. However, the ending is a really great ending. I loved it. I absolutely love when movies end like this. Yes. Performances. Jonah Hill is amazing. Brad Pitt is amazing. There's this particular scene in the middle where they're making these last-minute trades with other teams, and it's a constant back and forth on the phone with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill giving him, stats and numbers. And I really like the dynamic between these two, and that carried the movie throughout for me. Now, I don't really watch a lot of baseball. I don't really play the sport as well, but I was pretty invested in what was happening, despite the fact that I really have no interest in baseball. So I think in that sense, the movie did succeed. Is it really Brad Pitt's best work? I don't know. There are certain problems, like I said, with his character development. I wish that the daughter would have been incorporated a little bit more. She does get a few scenes, but I literally can count them on my fingers. I wish some of the scenes I guess about the baseball recruitment could have been shortened, and we could have added a little bit more for Brad Pitt's character. But overall, I think the journey was fun enough. Sometimes it does drag on a bit, but it's definitely a fun movie in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I think about Moneyball. Brad Pitt is amazing. He's the man's man. Anyways, I'm gonna try. There's not a lot of movies to watch these days. So I'm gonna try and get some new releases out. What I think about some new releases out, because I want to talk about new movies, right? I actually want to check out The Lion King and Aladdin, because one of my friends were like, "Oh my God, you haven't seen Aladdin, Lion King? What the fuck is wrong with you?" Yeah, so yeah, I'll check those movies out if I have the time. I'm very busy these days, and yeah, thanks for listening to the end if you have.